The Dershow.
My book has just come out, The Preventive State, and we decided where to have the book launch. Every book has a book launch. And the book launch that we decided on after a lot of conversation was the Harvard Club of New York. And so it was scheduled. The invitations went out. We ordered the books. And then all the people who were invited, I didn't get a notice, but all the people who were invited said it was canceled. It was canceled. And then it lied and it said, we're working with the author to try to reschedule. First, they didn't even tell me. I found out about it through other people. And second, when I called and said, can we reschedule? They said, no, we're too busy. So obviously, my book launch of The Preventive State was canceled, either from pressure by members of the Harvard Club or heads of the Harvard Club, or by people at Harvard University itself. They're stating that it was a scheduling conflict is just a lie. I checked it out. I called them and I said, what's the scheduling conflict? Well, we're just busy, but what's in conflict with that day? Why can't we have it that day? Well, we don't know. We can't tell you. Totally unsatisfactory answer. Clearly, this was a decision to censor me. I think they may have been afraid that I would talk about Harvard. I wasn't even planning to talk about Harvard. I was planning to talk about the preventive state. Obviously, I have plenty to say about Harvard, and I will continue to talk about Harvard, and I won't be stopped. I won't be censored. Members of the Harvard Club won't have a chance to hear me, and I'd be interested in knowing what they thought. But if you're a member of the Harvard Club, protest, object, and don't believe them when they say it was a scheduling conflict. It's just nonsense. They're just lying through their teeth, just as they lied when they sent out a statement saying we're working with the speaker to reschedule. I didn't even know about it. So they weren't working with the speaker to reschedule. They just preemptively canceled me, obviously, as the result of pressure. I have absolutely no doubt about that. And I spoke to the man who canceled me, and boy, did he fumf, and we couldn't come up with a single good answer and explanation. He couldn't tell me what the scheduling conflict was. He couldn't reschedule it. Obviously, he was a lackey who was under instructions from somebody above him, whether from Harvard or from the Harvard Club. Do not schedule Dershowitz. We do not want him to speak. He has sided with Trump on his conflict with Harvard. I haven't sided with anybody. I want to see a settlement. I am writing a book called Trump to Harvard, Go Fund Yourself, and maybe with a subtitle, Harvard to Trump, Sue Me. Or sue you. And who will win? We don't know. We haven't come up with the final title yet, but we know that the title itself will be Trump to Harvard, Go Fund Yourself. So, they may have found out about that and they don't like that, but Harvard has no right to cancel the Harvard Club, a scheduled event. Look, let's remember about the Harvard Club. When I went to Harvard, when I started to teach at Harvard, they weren't admitting women. I wouldn't join the Harvard Club because they weren't admitting women. 20, 30 years earlier, they weren't admitting Jews. They weren't admitting Catholics. So the Harvard Club has a scandalous history, as all these clubs, the Yale Club, the Princeton Club, they all have the same kind of scandalous anti-Semitic, anti-Catholic, anti-women bigotry. But you'd think maybe it ended. But obviously, don't expect to speak at the Harvard Club, even if you're scheduled, if you have said things that might be offensive to certain people in the Harvard or Harvard Club establishment. So if you're in the Harvard Club, if you're a member, if you're going to have lunch there, let them know what you think. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me, fine. If you think they should have canceled me, fine. If you believe that they did it for a scheduling purpose, then you're a fool. But they won't even show you, if you ask them, what the scheduling conflict is.